I went to visit this worksite in Portland where offenders carry out their community service to find out more about probation.
People come in, they have no real idea of what community payback is going to be about, probably very negative in regard to what they're actually achieving, whether or not it is of benefit to the community. But again, I think when they actually see what we've achieved here and what we achieve on a regular basis, I think they leave here in a very, very positive sort of frame of mind. And so much so that I even have guys come back to visit after they finish just to see how it's progressing. I think generally, talking to some of the guys here who've sort of served time behind the walls, I think particularly in regard to short sentences, they don't tend to benefit from it. I mean, there's no sort of real point in getting involved in training courses. This is how I perceive it. They're basically saying there's no point, maybe getting a job while they're inside. There's no point of training courses, so they just sit there and probably vegetate for that 6 months. And obviously, if we can have them on a site like this, where we're doing positive work, we can again work with them, encourage them to find employment, and maybe give them the skills they need to find employment. Then that's obviously got a bit benefit to all of us.
The gardens, which are open to the public, have been crafted by offenders over the past 5 years. 4 days a week, offenders visit the site to work a full day for free to give something back to the community. I spoke to one of the offenders who is currently working on the site to find out his views on community punishment.
I think it's a much better idea. Much better idea. I think certainly things like this, people find that you might find that you've got a sort of a bit of a calling, a bit of green fingers, and whereas otherwise they wouldn't necessarily think of doing this sort of thing, especially in cities. I mean, or Dorchester or whatever. It's a bit different. Whereas I think putting them in prison, it's a bit, I don't know, it's just, you sort of make people work and give something back, and whereas prison, you just sort of sat there and they're just gone bored, and they're not doing anything. It's better for self-esteem to have them doing something and giving something back, making up for what they've done, rather than just sitting in a cell somewhere, just sort of going mad with boredom, that sort of thing, So I think that's much better in the long run.
Community payback does have very, very good results in regard to reoffending. I think the reoffending rates do tend to be a lot lower. And again, on a personal level, I don't tend to see many of my guys come back, so I can only assume that something's gone right.